Well, happy days, my fantastic friends. We're going to paint a little bit of a jungly scene, all being well. So I've coated the top half with linseed oil and titanium white mix, just, well, top quarter really. I'm going to get a bit of French ultramarine. I always forget the name of French ultramarine. Okay, and just a touch of red, because French ultramarine has got a bit of red in it. It's kind of a purpley blue, which I do like. Okay, just there like so. And on this big filbert brush, we're just going to float in a little sky. Just really push this in. Now you could do this with a big old brush if you wish. I just think there's a little bit more control with these smaller brushes, and they're easier to clean. So just push that in there as well, like that. Just a bit of a blue colour. Now, I say jungle scene. I think we might have some bamboo and we might have some palm trees or something similar. We don't know yet. Well, got a little bit of brown there. How did that sneak in? You can make a lovely grey from burnt umber and French ultramarine. And I've got this grey there. And then you can just lighten it up and go in there and make a nice little sketch. You can take it to the blue side, which will cool it down, or you can take it to the warm side, the browns, and warm it up slightly. On here, I've got a little bit of a peak right in the distance, and I'm just going to put a little bit of more something there. I don't want too much because it's way back and you can't hardly see it, but I just think a little bit of something just to break it up. Try to sneak in a little bit of a blue cloud around there as well. So anyway, so I'm going to start up here. Okay, now remember, this is all dry apart from the paint that I've just put down on the canvas, the sketching part of the paint. So I don't want to coat the complete mountain in this undercolour. I think this looks like the shadow side. Just a bit natural for me, this, to have the shadow on this. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I've tried doing it the other way, and sometimes it works, and sometimes I have to fight myself, and I don't know why. Maybe it's where I live. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I'm right-handed. If somebody could answer me that would be fantastic, but I don't know. But anyway, we're going to leave a little bit of space for some snow to sneak in there. So just come along and put some shadows in of the rockwork. And again, we can peel it off and warm it up on the warm side. This is on the cool side. So, yeah, we'll put another one there. Like that. As I'm laying down this stonework for this mountain, I've just realised, should I say, that there is no snow in jungles, is there? Really, because it's going to be pretty hot. So forget everything I just said about painting snow in the white spots. We're going to continue with the stonework and maybe put a little bit of greenery up there, because I'm sure if it was a jungle, did someone say that we were painting a jungle? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyhow, what I am actually doing is varying the colours. Now, all this is French ultramarine, burnt umber, mixed with a bit of white, and we're taking it to the blue side or the brown side, depending on which side of the hill or mountain that we're painting. Okay, and I am going to leave some little areas, so now we can paint the grasses and the palms and things like that. Right, we've got that clear. Right, so all I'm going to do is just continue to do this, and we don't want it too strong, so always add a little bit of paleness to it. Always white it off, because we want to be stronger here and here than we do here. Okay. So with a bit of yellows and the blue and white. Okay. Just pretend that this is green snow. Okay. I'm gonna get shot, aren't I? I'm gonna get shot at some point. Okay. Right. So just pretend that this is green snow. Actually, it's little trees and grasses and all sorts up there. I'm just laying some base colour down. I want it pale because it's far away. I'm going to make it obviously a little bit darker on the shadow side of the mountain. Really push it in. Really push it in. We don't want any little white dots on this canvas because there's no snow there. So really push this in around that stone. We'll come back and work around that. And then we want to pale that off because it's going to be a nice little misty area down there. Right, let's darken that off a bit. So I'm going to grab a bit of the brown thrown into there, a bit of the blue, a bit more of the yellows. That's basically, this is yellow ochre, but it's got a little bit of the cad yellow mixed in with it because I just scooped it off the last painting I did, Graceland, and I've just put that in there. Just scooped it all up, put it to one side, and then pushed it back onto the palette to use again. Yeah, I hope you've watched that Graceland video. It took some doing, but very, very worth it. Extremely worth it. And there we go. And you know, it sold within minutes of it going live. That's crazy, that, isn't it? It sold within minutes. So with the greens in place, all I'm doing now is I am just going to hit some of this white colour. Same stony colour that's on the brush, so it won't remain pure white. And I'm just going to pick out just some highlights here and there. Maybe that's a bit too strong. Wipe the brush off and get a bit more. I just want a bit more up top there. That's it. That's the one. That's it. Just every now and again. Now this is not snow. It's just a bit of highlight on the stonework. Just a little bit there. And you can put snow on like this. Doesn't hurt. I just want a little bit of highlight, and on this stone there as well. There. Like that. And just remember, every shadow needs a highlight. Do you know what? This reminds me of Scotland. I don't know why. I'm just been going saying it's. I tell you what, we won't finalise what trees and shrubbery we'll put in place until we get the actual thing in place. I don't know. Right. So with that hill in place, we're going to do pretty much the same thing on this side and on this side as what we've done here, but a little bit darker and a little bit more crisp. Okay. And then we're going to have a stream that's running all the way down. So just let's put some colour down there so we know where, in case we lose as guidelines. I seem to have gone pretty crazy and mental, really, in a weird way, since I'm not. These are evergreens. This looks like the side of an evergreen mountain. So I don't think we're going to get the jungle done today. So all I'm doing is just this little tiny dagger brush. And I've learnt the name of this now thanks to the fabulous Paul Ranson. Okay, I'm just putting in a little colour here of some stands of evergreens, and then come back in with a little soft brush with a tiny bit of white on it, and then just tap the base, or swirl the base up, set that back into the painting, and then we can put another layer on top of this. A little bit different colour, maybe a little bit stronger. Maybe you can see a few little arms and stuff coming off the sides of some of these. Maybe a bit fat, that one, but it is what it is. Just like that. Right over that mist there. I'm just adding a touch of a light blue just onto this very far mountain, just there like that, just to break it up a little bit and give it a little bit of something else, because it's right there, right smack bang in the middle of the painting, and it didn't really look much. So just a little bit of something like that, very soft, delicate blender brush, just to set that back, just there, and that'll give it a little bit of something else. There. Put some blue down here now, just for the water. It's got a mixture of red, black, bit of blue, bit of white, bit of brown, everything that we're going to go on there. So that's just all wet now. We can pull reflections into that when we need to, but we need to work a little bit on this. I'm going to leave this side for the moment. So take that little brush here. You can see we've got a little bit of a misty area there, and we've got some rocks that are going to come out of it as well. So we're just going to cut that misty area off right there. Push some of this dark green colour in. This is definitely not going to be a jungle scene now. And we'll just push that down there. Like that. We've got a little bit of a meadow or a peninsula there. We might change this water as well. This I don't know. It might be too close. I don't know. I might just hide it behind some greenery and stuff like that. But just let's grab some different colours, bit of yellow, and just push all kinds of different colours into the fabric. This is a very old rounded brush, and it's got to be old because it'll shred the bristles off this, and I don't want a new one getting absolutely totaled. Okay, I've just put a few shapes down on this side, and I've done the bank there, and a few just pulled down some reflections and just wobbled them out a little bit. But we need to put something here now. I was debating, earlier on in the video, do we put a palm tree there? Do we put some bamboo there? Blah 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 blah. It looks like it's going to be an evergreen forest, so I'm just going to using this dagger brush, just put straight over the top of all that. We're going to have a tree or two, maybe. Well, definitely one now. We've got it there, okay, and then we'll pull that straight down, something like that. And we're going to have a couple on this side. So before I start working my son to death on any of the mountain work and the grasses and the little ferns and things there in the painting, let's just point where we want a tree to be. And I think one should be about there. Now we can get this basically popped in place, no big deal, just about there. And we may put another one round about, don't know, maybe about there, a little baby one. And it's looking a little bit crooked as well. Crooked. Or to send this one to Westminster, yeah? Okay, so now we can work around this. We're going to have leaves coming off either side, so we can work around that rather than trying to paint over top of a lot of paint with these evergreens, which I'm going to have to do on that one. But that was an oversight. Okay, so let's work on some of this mountain material in the background now. So I'm just working on this background material, and I stopped for a cup of tea about 5 minutes ago, and I'm thinking now that we can actually get some tropicalness into this. But leave that with me because it could change again. What we're going to do now is just going to take the little brush and get a little bit of this dark color. And see, this is where we're going to have as trees, and we're going to put as trees there. So I just want a few more little bits and pieces, just a little bit bigger. It's a little bit further forward. We've got to keep it tied up with the stuff that's in the opposite side of the painting. So just a couple more little trees. Maybe we can see a little bit more detail on them, so we can add some branches and whatever on these. Just using this little tiny dagger brush, just like that. And then of course we're going to have some big branches come down here, so we might see a little bit of something sneaking in about there as well. Quite vital to get this laid out. Okay, so with some yellows and greens and blacks and browns and everything, pretty grassy coloured, really. What's the word I'm looking for? Neutral, or no, it's not natural. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, we're just going to push some colours in. Rustic, that's the colour, that's the name. And just push some colours right here into the canvas, and then we can come back and make some epic grass effects. Little meadow down here on this peninsula, just like that. Get the colours in first. All right, with all this grassy colour put in place now, we can just take a fan brush and then just start to lift up and fluff up all these lovely grassy colours, just like that. Don't worry about the trees because we can put them back in place. May need to wipe the brush. We don't want to take much of that dark colour into the light. We'll just keep doing, just push up, just like that, until we create a lovely meadowy effect down here. I can put some stones on this, like I've done there, in a momento. Okay, let's work on these trees. So what we've got a little bit of burnt umber, a little bit of black, and some sap green. I'm just gonna, this is on a little bit of a filbert brush, a number 1 filbert brush, should know that by now. Put the tree trunk back in place, right over the grass, like so, and then just make some arms on it. Now we have arms that stick out to the side and flick up a little bit, so flick them up like that. Okay, all the way down, and make them irregular as well. You know, they grow anywhere, don't they? These arms, like that. These branches, flick them up. Like so, we might need a smaller brush to put some little finer things on there, detail and stuff. Put this in place. Of course, we've got to have branches that come towards us as well. Don't miss those out. Like that, maybe a bit more down in the base there, like so. Like that. I think that's okay for now. And then we can come back and put some highlights on these. Just want to show you, if we get a little liner brush, that same colour, we can come up here. Now this hasn't been thinned out. It's just thick and fairly dry underneath. You know, just put some little tinkery bits out there right on the edge. All right, let's work on some highlights on these trees now. I've just mixed up a bit of sap green, cad yellow, and burnt umber. We'll start up here. I've got this dagger brush again, and I'm just going to touch on a certain side there, like that. I'm just going to pick out some little highlights down there, like this. This is one of many colours that we'll put on here, and we'll just work on this. Like that, a slightly different colour to the background. Don't tap too much, or else we'll end up mixing dark into the colour that we've already got there, like so. Push that up. We've got another one that comes down there, I think. Like that, plenty of paint. Really plough this paint on. Got a couple of little rocks. We've got a couple of little rocks down there, so just some of this grey colour throughout. And all I'm doing, just pick out the highlight side and just put a bit of that. Like so, reload the brush. And this one there as well. Like so. Try not to overplay this, or you'll end up making a complete sludgy mess on your canvas, and you want some nice sharp rocks down there. Might be a bit big, this brush, but we'll start it off with this. Bit of blue on there as well. Here we go. Mosquito attack. Well, it's not exactly a jungle like we planned, but it is a very attractive painting. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this one, please give me a big old thumbs up, leave me a nice big comment, and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. And until next time, you guys take care of yourself. Stay safe. Happy days.